Hey up, I'm Guy Kestevan, the Tester Man, and I'm back at Pashley with Luke. We're halfway through Pashley Roadfinder X build that we've documented from pipe through paint all the way to a half-built custom bike here. And now is finally the time to reveal what kit
big secret
we're going to be putting on.
Absolutely.
It's embargo day with the new SRAM and Force Explorer Axis group sets. And we're going to be treating this Roadfinder X to a almost full kit of the new Rival Axis with an absolutely killer colour hit that's a limited edition option from SRAM at the end.
Absolutely.
And I say almost complete kit because unfortunately they've sent me a group set without the appropriate crank, which is really annoying because it looks brilliant. It's like got a coffin cutaway like you see on the Exo mountain bike cranks. However, luckily I had a spare SRAM Force, so that'll be going on for the initial build. So avert your eyes from that. That's not correct for the build. But as Luke fits it to the bike, we'll talk you through some of the details on the two new group sets, and we'll end up with what will be, well, it'll be the first Pashley Roadfinder X with the new SRAM Rival Explorer Access.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be unique, but this will be a build option with Pashley going forward. Take it away, Luke.
Perfect.
Right, so the plot is thickening even more now because it turns out we actually have a hybrid setup. We have Rival brakes with a Force cassette, and then we've got Rival shifters as well, but a Force rear mag. So anyway, let's just jump in with this Rival brake here. As you see, flat mount. It's a very similar shaped caliper to the Red Explorer. I mean, that's the basic theme all the way through these Force and Rival group sets. It's, you know, as you might expect, it's riffing off that Red Explorer Access group set that got released last year and I've been raving about ever since. So the difference is here, you haven't got the windows straight through the caliper, but very similar layout. Again, easy bleeding setup. It's flat mount. Again, you've got a little adapter in here because you're running a 160mm rotor at the rear. Now, if you just move around the side here, it's a direct line. I mean, this is the kind of sort of simplification you typically get with Rival, where you've just got a straight output on the brake there. And like I say, it's, you know, it hasn't got those windows in, so it doesn't look quite as trick. It's a slightly more basic finish, but still what's likely to be a very effective single pot braking system on there. And then just getting Luke's way, go up the front, you can see. There we are again up front, a bit easier to see the inside of the caliper there. And then
go. Start putting some shifters on it.
I'm so glad you didn't call them brifters. I hate it when people do that.
No.
And
It's just...
I'll do a bit of an unwrap here. We can talk through this while it's in my hand. So, this is the new Rival lever, and you see straight away, big news is, you now get a carbon lever on Rival. So that makes it lighter than the previous Rival, and it's that new, longer, sort of slimmer hood. Actually, less of a departure than on Rival than it was on the other groups, because Rival was kind of where they introduced this shape last time around. And then you've got, each of the groups has a different texture on the hood there. And then you've got those parallel lines just to get the alignment on there. Or it might be those. Should have paid more attention in the presentation. Yeah, I think that might be your kind of like leveling alignment on there. But the thing you don't get is the little bonus button. So you do get that on SRAM Force, but you don't get it on Rival. But, you know, you've got that nice carbon lever on there, which some might say leaves room for another group below this tier with an alloy lever. But obviously, that's just pure conjecture on my part. Oh, no, sorry, you're still doing that.
Yeah, it's still
jumping ahead.
Now.
There you go.
Let's try
Oh, this is just, you have no idea how nice it is to watch someone else do this part of a bike build.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't mind this bit. It's when I start getting near the taping.
Do you know what? Bar taping is probably one of my favourite things to do on a bike.
It's one of those things. You're either a bar taper or not, aren't you?
I find it really therapeutic. But I know
definitely
some
not.
people that tips them off the edge.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever taped a bar the same way. And I've done plenty of them, and every time I get to
Slightly
the back of the
different each
hoods,
time.
it's just like, Psychologists probably have a field day with it, but
Yeah, maybe.
I'm glad to know I'm in the hand of someone who loves a bit of tape work. So I'll just sit back and enjoy this next phase. And you can see the whole, again, the whole shape of that lever body there is designed to work. It's not quite as obvious on these bars as it is with the carbon bars, but you've got that flatter section there, which leads into the back of the hood there.
Yeah, it's that little drop down.
Yeah, it's just a really nice. SRAM always call it an ecosystem, don't they? Which I think is potentially taking a little bit too far. But it is great when you start seeing everything working together in cohesion.
These shifters
like
do
that.
look really ergonomic and comfortable to
They
ride
are.
on, though.
Yeah, I'm a big. It was funny when I rode Red Explorer for the first time. I pretty much fitted it and went straight off and did the Trouseri, just 3
really?
days across Wales. And
Brave,
right
what
on the
confidence.
final day, I just started getting a little hot spot, a little blister on one of my hands. And I was like,
Really?
do you know what? I think this would be better if I just move the shifters slightly, because they've got that horizontal marker on the hood, rubber. And I just tilted them up slightly. Instantly, much worse.
Oh, really?
Went back, yeah, absolutely fine. Like cruising to Shrewsbury going, well, there you go. There's a lesson learned. Yet again, they know what they're on about. Should have picked this up on the frame talk through, really, on this build. But once you've got the wheel in there, you really see what an exaggerated bend for the clearance there is in that stay. Obviously, literally hand-built here, just the other side of this wall, in this factory, tubes made just up the road. And then really has got some wonderful, wonderful detailing on this bike. Probably can't tell you the story about Handmade Bicycle Show. I wish I could. Maybe DM me in the comments, because it is a corker. And it's very much in Pashley's favour, rather than the Handmade Bicycle Show. But, yeah. Anyway, moving on. It's just dabbing on. Bit of coppery goodness. Just gently getting that T47 BB in there. It's already got the custom printed sleeve. Again, another 3D printed component that they do in-house here at Pashley. The metal stuff's done out of house, but the plastic stuff's done here. And that just keeps all those controls, obviously on this, it's wireless. So there's no cable to run, but you need to just get that brake hose. Make sure that's protected from that
a little bit, yeah.
spinning crankset in there. Sweet.
There we go.
And obviously, as well as giving the clearance benefits, that larger diameter bottom bracket shell also means a bigger. Sorry, some kind of hissing process going on in the background. Obviously, that oversized bottom bracket shell really improves the stiffness as well as the weld connection in that bottom bracket area as well. One of the things we can do without, as it's a one-by build, is we can do without that. I mean, it's a really pretty piece. It's a lovely piece. Kind of sad to see it go.
Again, 3D printed.
Yeah, could use it as a bottle opener, I guess. But yeah, but anyway, you don't need that front mount on there, so that's come off nice and cleanly. Because we are obviously running with the big dog, full mount, Tramforce rear mech. Neatly installed there on that UDH hanger, means it's direct fit to the frame. Makes the whole system a lot stiffer, much more accurate shifting, and it's a highly rebuildable mech as well. So shifts better under power, more accurate. You've got this sort of gated community cassette. I'm sure there's a better word for it. I'm sure SRAM have a proper name for it. I'll put that in the caption if I remember it. But yeah, all the shifting ramps are pre-programmed to move the chain across as easily as possible. And again, coming off SRAM Red Explorer, the shift on this really is absolutely exceptional. And 13 speeds, 10 to 46, 13 speed. We've got SRAM Force. It's the obviously it's the mid-level buy. Got the batteries neatly hidden above. I mean, it's basically SRAM Red Explorer access without the carbon lower cage, just with No, I'm going to have to check that because that does feel a lot like a composite lower cage.
I thought I felt like that.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It really does.
So why?
It's very impressive if it isn't then.
Yeah, definitely feels composite. Right. Well, answers in on a postcard in the comments shortly. And there we have. I mean, it's SRAM Force. It's not quite the correct SRAM Force, but it doesn't look too bad on there. Luckily, they've carried over the accents because that's another one of the things that SRAM have done, which is quite a nice feature. They've deliberately carried over the iconography and the colorways. So if you have already got SRAM Force 1x up the front, then you can still have SRAM Force Explorer with the new 13-speed, new direct mount mirror mech without it looking a total dog's dinner. Was the point. Now, this was the point at which I was particularly delighted to coming down to Pashley Park, because I guess if you squint, it could look a little bit like Paisley Park, because this is the special edition SRAM Explorer Access coloured chain. So you really are going to see me riding with my purple chain. Purple chain, purple chain.
That is awful.
Yeah, fair enough, Luke. But yeah, that'll make it onto Instagram at some point, I'm sure. So obviously pre-cut to length, according to the SRAM Axis app, because we're good like that. And
Beautiful.
yeah, I think this will be a really nice popper colour. I was going to try and get some of the pop rivets that you can get for a Cambion, or some purple anodized 90s bolts for it. But truth be told, they were actually very purple, and that's kind of an oil tony one. I might still get
gold
some
in this as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, I reckon the sort of oil can bolts you can get in Thai, that might be an option. But we would be looking at, I think, 23 different M5 bolts, which is going to end up quite pricey. So we'll see if that happens. But for now, let's just get that chain on there. Oh, we need to put it up on the setup cog, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, this is where we should probably consult YouTube again. Sorry, I should point out that this is Luke's first ever Axis Explorer install. So, I mean, I guess you'll be getting used to this as more of these bikes come through.
Absolutely. I wouldn't mind getting used to it. Yeah.
Once you've got it worked out,
It's beautiful.
it should simplify the whole system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Super quick to go together.
Yeah. Neat. I have to say, that is looking very slick now. Hell yes. Chain is on. Shifters are paired. See how that monster mech works through the chain. You can need this battery charging. We're getting a red light there. But that is looking smooth all the way through that 1046. And obviously, because it's direct mount, you don't need stop screws to adjust. But yeah, how's that for a bit of retro and modern monster mech hanging off the bottom of those tiny little seat stays and up into that beautiful sort of trouser seat stay bridge. Bit of a hybrid setup, but that looks sweet. Cheers, Luke.
No worries.
Least favourite bit,
My favourite.
but your favourite bit.
Absolutely,
This
yes.
could not have been a more harmonious end
Get the
to a
bar tape
fantastic
on.
looking bike.
Get it wrapped.
Get your wrap on.
Let's do it.
And I believe we're going collar and cuffs with, is it Brooks Cambion tape?
I believe so.
Yeah, sweet. With a Pro. By this point, I wouldn't have even got the bar ends plugged in. I didn't even see how you did that with the end. I normally end up with some weird kind of tape boshed into the middle mess. And you're already finishing it off.
Here we go.
I'm going to have to concentrate on the second one, aren't I?
Yeah.
As that is a very neat install.
Get
Right,
sorted.
pay attention second time round.
There we go. So, I do like the little finishing bits on there.
Yeah,
A bit of extra grip as well, isn't it?
yeah. Oh, is that pre-loved? I hadn't realised.
So there we go.
Right, see, this I'm interested here.
So the trick is, if you cut a little triangle off when you start,
Right.
you're then already at the angle. So when you do your first wrap, it pulls it round. I must say, this is my weaker side.
Bit of a Zoolander deal, is it?
But then it gets it started for you, and if you get it cut at the right angle for the wraps, the rest just follows suit. And it's just keeping the tension in it.
Talked in the other videos about the really close relationship with Brooks and Pashley, not least because Pashley were behind basically saving Brooks when they nearly went into liquidation. So, yeah, it's only because of Pashley here that you're getting Brooks products, which are now hugely successful all over the world, in the same way that, you know, Pashley's very important, almost more important as a global brand. 40% of their bikes go overseas. So, again, a real success story about those traditional products and traditional skills. But then again, you know, Cambium's part of that new Brooks range, you know, moving away from sort of traditional just leather and brass to more high tech. And that's a great match. The saddle up here. You made that look way too easy, look. Luke.
Working in a shop and having to do 1 in 10 minutes before his emergency ride that you have to go on.
Yeah, don't. See, mine always look like that's what I've done, but the reality is I've probably spent the best part of an hour taping and retaping, and yeah, that bit, the shifter armpit. I don't know what the official name is, but damn.
Go with that. I like that.
Yeah, that never goes well.
There we go. So we'll pop the ends in, and then that's ready to ride.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Pop those ends.
Oh, we should probably pop some pedals in it.
That would help.
And of course, as we're looking at a full SRAM family build, we need the appropriate pedals. So that's a pair of Time ATAC XC12 titanium axle pedals. Because this might not be a Pashley Princess, but I reckon at least the pedals should be proper top end on royalty like this. Cheers, Luke. Plus that gold kind of goes with that chain.
The little gold accents on the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goldy looking chain and prints. I'm going to have to make my mind up. Is it South Wales's finest rapper or Minneapolis's miniature music king?
Can't beat Prince though.
Yeah, fairs. Fairs. Luke, take a bow, man. That looks absolutely sensational. What an amazing build. What an amazing looking bike. That is proper class. Literally the first Roadmaster X SRAM Explorer Access bike.
Should get it weighed.
Yeah. Thanks so much, mate.
No worries.
That looks absolutely awesome. So, there we go. Part 4 of the Road to Roadfinder X build complete.
Absolutely.
Massive thanks for that, Luke.
No worries. I've enjoyed building
Looks absolutely awesome, and just amazing to have seen the whole product story all the way through on this bike. So if you haven't watched the previous 3 videos, do make sure you go back and watch those to get all of this in context. You know, the whole Pashley factory here in Stratford-on-Avon, you know, the passion and the history and the innovation behind this brand and behind this, you know, this product, which is kind of the first of a whole new generation.
Seen it go from a tube to a full bike.
Yeah, a whole new generation of contemporary, very classic, but also very modern Pashleys has been absolutely awesome. And we've got to meet the new SRAM Axis Explorer, even though it's currently a bit of a mixed bag on here. I will be coming back with a full test. Hopefully I'll get a full collar and cuff set of either Force or Rival, or both, ideally. And then we can get some ride testing done on the SRAM access equipment as well. But for now, massive thanks to
No
Luke.
worries.
Thanks to Andy, who hosted the first 2 videos, and to Blake, who talked us through the range as well. And huge thanks to Pashley. Huge thanks to you guys for watching. Make sure you click for subscriptions if you haven't already subscribed. Click for notifications, give it a thumbs up, like. If you really like the channel, give us a few quid on Patreon every month. That'd be marvellous. And that'll get you free, ad-free, early and exclusive edits. But for now, there's just one more thing to do. Just to get this bike outside.
Give it a spin.
Get it ridden. Because that,
Absolutely.
as always, is the proof of pudding. So, massive thanks, Luke.
Thank you very much.
Been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for watching, folks. I've been Guy Kestevan on Guy Kes TV at the Pashley factory in Stamford-on-Avon, getting this beautiful Pashley Roadfinder X built up for me with the latest SRAM and zip component kit. Doesn't get much better than that, does it?